So let me start with, it was 4th of July this year, 2025. My cousins and I decided to spend the day together. And so I brought my daughter to my cousin's place. We did a little 4th of July morning parade. It was really nice. And right when we headed back to my cousin's house, he got a text message saying, oh no, this particular part of Texas where my family actually owns a ranch has flooded. I said, oh, that's sad. And then he said, oh no, 20 something girls are missing from a camp. At which point, obviously my heart sank, but also that meant that I needed to sprint into action because now that touched my actual profession. That meant I needed to go. Nobody yet knew about the scale of the destruction. So 4th of July morning, I had to leave my family, get my daughter back in the truck, call the rest of the team, came home, got my gear, and with the team, we drove the 4.5 hours out to the disaster zone. We arrived very late that night. It was about 1 a.m. It was too late to go out and venture out. But the next morning, really early, we went straight to Mystic Camp in Hunt, Texas, or Unt, Texas, as they say it there. And that was the first punch in the stomach. Just literally ripped our hearts out because that's where we discovered that indeed this whole cabin that hosted more than 20 little girls between the age of 8, 9, and 10 was completely, well, the cabin was still there, but the girls were swept away. And right there we found a father who was frantically searching for his stuff, or for his daughter's stuff rather, as well as his daughter herself. He had paused the research for his daughter because there was just no way to move ahead without certain equipment. So he was waiting for the equipment to continue the search of his daughter. Now fast forward to about a week, and his daughter sadly has been found unalive. So that was the first impact for us. We actually interviewed the man. He was that's one of the things about our job, and a lot of you may not understand. You may think we're like vultures that in order to tell a story don't regard human suffering, but it's actually quite the opposite. We'll get into that more later, how most 99.999% of reporters really get into this job because we want to help people. We want to tell stories and ultimately bring help and aid to areas that have been affected, and gathering images and testimony out of disaster zones and then kind of spread them out around the world is one of the best ways to get aid going quickly. So that is part of my job. And of course it's painful. I mean, I have to go in the face of somebody who just lost somebody and ask them how they're feeling with a camera in their face. It's horrible. It really is horrible. And actually that is one of the main reasons why I'm trying to quit and just become a YouTuber, so I don't have to do that anymore. But we did talk to a father, and who again gave us some very sad testimony, and here it is.
We're at Camp Mystic looking for our kids. We've been in Kerrville all night. We got here and started looking, and the game warden showed up. Or we went as far as we could downstream, but we don't have the equipment for that, so we're letting them do that, and then we're looking for places that they're gonna potentially be alive. There's over 20 of them still out there. Been in Kerrville all night.
Now, of course, the only way I can show you this footage is by filming my laptop, where I obviously edited and sent out this footage. I can't show it to you directly because it's obviously copyrighted to, it is footage that belongs to the news agency I work for. I work for one of the the top global news agencies. I won't mention which one, but again, obviously, I can just show you what I filmed through the screen of my laptop.
8 to 9 year old girls going into 3rd and 4th grade.
And they were all in this cabin.
Yeah, these 2 cabins. This one, and then I think that one too.
And right after visiting the Mystic Camp, the camp where tragically those 20 girls ended up disappearing and now confirmed passed away, after the visit at the camp, we started really driving along the Guadalupe River, and we just kind of came to terms with the scale of disaster, of the massive disaster that occurred. Unprecedented. It was just, you know, this little tiny sleepy river became a waterfall or a tsunami that just ran into, swallowed up, gobbled up entire camps, RV parks, everything that you know already.
Well, the water reached all the way to some of the top of the trees. The trees was underwater, so you're talking about 30 feet of it, and probably higher. So you're talking about 10 meters or so, and it was higher than that. So it swept cars, whole houses were floating down the river. So that's pretty bad. You know.
But again, it was our first day there, and we were just discovering it as we were going. We quickly joined the search and rescue teams. On the first day, I was just really reporting, so doing my job. So I was just reporting the rescue team. So I was following them, filming them as they were actively searching for survivors. So that was the first day. On the second and third day, it was quite clear that there was not many survivors to be found. And so quickly the missions became recovery. And so again, I was following these recovery teams, and I started, for example, following these guys on horses that were going to look for bodies, basically. And as I was following these guys on horses, we came across a pile that was emitting very strong stench, the typical stench of those of us who sadly are way too familiar with it. They marked that pile and they called in a recovery team. So what I did, I was following these guys on horses, but once they marked this area, I said, you know what, I'm gonna stay here, and I just want to stay with this pile and see what's to be found. And so the recovery team came, and long story short, I ended up spending hours and hours with this recovery team. I filmed them a little bit. I got some interviews with them on the great work they were doing.
The quicker we can come to a conclusion to find the victims of this, this disaster, the quicker we can give closure to the families that lost, as well as closure for the rescuers out here, because they pay a price too. There's a mental debt, an emotional debt that comes with doing this kind of work.
And then I put the camera down and I started digging with them. So I went from reporter to basically volunteering. It just felt natural for me to do it. So I really dug and then they brought in a cadaver dog, and anyways, and it was days of this horrendous, painful body search, which you just kind of followed your nose to the smell of DETH and or DEATH, and to find, unfortunately, what nobody ever wants to find. So that was my past week, guys. Texas is suffering. That area is suffering, and it's not only Texas, because it was 4th of July, so you had people coming in from all over the country, all over the world on holiday, because that area is such a beautiful place. In fact, my family owns a ranch not far from there, and that's where my team and I spent the night every night, which was great because A, it was up high, so it was away from any further flooding perils, but also as a way to kind of detach from all that pain and kind of, you know, go up high to this ranch, which was full of longhorns and horses and donkeys, and to kind of, you know, recoup our emotions before going in the next morning. So I was there for about 5 days, 6 days, covering this tragedy, and I am now finally back home. So that's it, guys. This is again the very first video of this alternative channel that I'm creating. And if you're interested, let me know what kind of stories you would like to hear, what things you would like to know. Again, I will be throwing at you a bunch of stuff. Also about my past. I mean, a lot of you guys maybe don't know that I used to be a flight attendant in a very fun way. I wasn't working for American Airlines or anything, so I have a ton of stories to tell about that. So anyway, I hope to make this channel a fun story telling, inspiring maybe in some ways as well, channel for you guys that again goes beyond air guns. So that's it for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for clicking that like button if you did indeed like this video. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's make this channel strong, and thank you again.